Stay with us.
The formation of the 9th National Assembly of Nigeria is somewhat clear, while the musical chair is playing for the ruling party APC on who hold the top seats at the National Assembly. The PDP on their end, I believe, are calculating and maybe strategizing their own plans out. Well, there are so many expectations. I believe we have with us on set the chairman of the House of Reps Press Corps, Umar Puma. You're welcome.
Thank you very much.
Okay. How long have you been at the Press Corps of the National Assembly?
7 years, I guess.
7 years?
Yeah.
That almost makes you like a politician.
Well, we learn from them.
Maybe very soon
Yeah,
you
then we
learn from them.
Yeah.
And who knows, maybe very soon you retire from your job as a journalist. And, well, we'll keep our eyes on you.
What if it's prayer, I say amen.
Oh, really? Okay. Now, tell us, the formation of the executive, of the leaders of the both chambers of the Assembly is ongoing. People, and there are calculations from different quarters on who would do this, why this, and so many other interested parties. Tell us exactly, what does the Constitution of the National Assembly say the formation of the leadership of the Assembly is supposed to be like? Just lay that to us as a background for us, very briefly.
Okay. The formation of the leadership of the National Assembly is, I don't think there's no any rules who stipulated that so person is qualified to, or he's not qualified to be a Senate President or the Speaker, as long as you are elected from your constituency. As long as you are representing a constituency in the National Assembly, you are a potential Speaker or the Senate President. But however, there's over the years they use experience, because experience matters in this regard. You can't just bring in a new person who has never had an experience with the lawmaking and probably presiding over either state assembly or to come and say he wants to be a speaker. I don't think that is obtainable at this time. So there's what they call ranking members, those who have been there 2-3 terms in the House or in the Senate. Those are the ones that are said to be qualified based on the experience they must have acquired over the years they have been there. So there is not a clear definition as to who is qualified or who is not. So long as you are elected member of the Assembly, you are qualified to vie for any position. The
top seats of the Assembly, how many are they?
8. Yes.
There are 8 leadership seats. And we know the APC are calculating, they are trying to pitch some members to run for some of these, at least maybe the Speaker, Deputy, the Senate President and his Deputy. Is there any chance that any of the opposition, even maybe one of the very least opposition, can have, who has had a member, like you say, gain experience, happens to be maybe any of these 8 seats, or is it specially reserved for those with the majority at the Assembly?
There's no clear defined law who says that you must belong to the majority before you become the Speaker. But however, it has always been the practice, even in advanced democracies, where in the United States, for example, you remember recently when the Democrats became majority of the House of Representatives in the U.S., Nancy Pelosi immediately assumed leadership as a Speaker. So this is the practice. You know, we borrowed this system from them, and I believe that is what we have been doing. But there's no laws which denied anyone from contesting for the Speaker, whether you are from least minority, let me put it this way. So long as you are a member, like I said, you are entitled to. But the practice remains the same. Democracy is about numbers. Majority will always have their way. The minority will have their say, but the majority will always carry the day.
2015 formation of the National Assembly came with some kind of drama. Of course, we know how it all panned out at the end of it all. Is this a kind of deja vu? Are we with the party pitching a particular candidate and some others interested? Are you a little concerned that if this is not easily sorted out, we might have a repeat of 2015?
You cannot rule that out, to be honest with you, the way things are going now. Like I say, we are media people. We just watch and write reports, but we don't have a candidate which we say this is our candidate, or we don't have votes. But however, I think the way Amana, the leadership of the APC is going about it, if care is not taken, we'll still go back to the same position we found ourselves in 2015. I would advise the party, they would have thrown the contest open. Probably, well, party is supreme, everybody knows that, there's no two way about that. But you don't need to narrow a contest to a particular candidate. You will have, okay, for example, if you say you are zoning the Senate presidency to the Northeast, throw it open, allow every senator from Northeast who is qualified to contest. If you have your candidate, maybe then you can come in and support him. But for you to pinpoint and identify one person, I think we are still in the same place where we found ourselves in 2015.
Okay, let's move on. Now, in the Eighth Assembly, which is gradually winding up, there are quite some bills which didn't pass the final reading stage, and some top bills the public are expecting to be out, but were not. Do you foresee a faster, a quicker passage of these bills from your observations and analysis as a journalist?
Well, it all boils down to the issue of selecting the leadership itself. Because if you have competent people at the helm of affairs of the House or the Senate, certainly there's going to be a very, very robust and quality bills being passed every year. However, let me give you an instance. In the 8th Assembly, well, we can, if I were to assess the 8th Assembly, I will give them first mark because they have done extremely well in terms of the quality of bills and motions being passed. For us to move forward as a nation, we need to have a synergy between the legislative and the executive. That is the only way we can be able to have quality bills being passed every day. And sometimes, like what happened in the 8th Assembly, you will find that there's a bill sent by the president or probably by the executive, and that bill may be delayed or may not be passed at all. So these are some of the issues that, honestly, if we have good leaders, if we have selected good people based on their credibility to lead the House or the Senate, that is when we will have bills that will be passed every day for the benefit of Nigerians.
But let me just quickly talk of the public now. Okay. The media is the go-between, is the middleman between the politicians or those you call and the public. What are the expectations of the public of the 9th National Assembly from your point of view as someone who is a middleman go-between? Very, very briefly.
Well, the expectation is high because, you know, one of the issues that has been a serious source of concern to Nigerians is the issue of basket of budget. And you can see we are in April today. The budget has not been passed. So I think the Nigerians expect the 9th Assembly to expedite action on the budget, because virtually it's the bedrock of the economy. If you don't release your budget, certainly the country will not progress. So from time, it's not their fault, actually. The executive do delay the presentation, but I will advise that the executive to always send the bills on time so that the legislators will work on it and pass at a time. I would advise the incoming 9th Assembly to also look into budget presentation and passage.
Okay,
These are the issues
so
that
these are the main issues you believe that the public, the people want to see the quick passage of the bill.
Yes.
Anyhow, thank you very much. I'll leave it there. Hopefully we'll get you on set some other time to answer more questions, maybe after the assembly has been formed and we've seen how things are going. Umar Mohammed Puma, Chairman of the House of Reps Press Corps. Thank you very much for coming around.
You're welcome.
The program is still Insight, and this segment has been the media review segment. In a short while, I will be back on with Omini for the concluding part of the program.
Cecil, we are coasting home.
Yes, we are coasting home. Quite a very interesting show today. And we've learned a thing or two, and of course we have very smart, interesting personalities who have analyzed and looked at issues from their point of view. Well, it's good.
When you bring politicians, no matter how you try to play the game, they will always sift to their platform before they agree.
You know, discussing with politicians is quite interesting. Even my guest, who has been with politicians for a long time, he's also a politician by association. So
I can call him a parliamentary journalist.
A parliamentary journalist, yes.
Well, thanks for being on Insight. On behalf of all of us, always make it a bet. Bye-bye.